Hey everybody, welcome back to Living Between Paychecks Kitchen. It's me, Jack, and today we're doing a viewer submission. It's actually my first viewer submission. Oz has done a couple, I believe. And it's from Magic Ball. If you're watching this, you know who you are. And we are making something called cheater enchiladas. This is also something I kind of had forever ago as a kid. Instead of using enchiladas or making them, you just substitute it with taquitos and do everything else kind of the same way. It should be kind of like the tamale casserole or tamale pie I made last week. But yeah, let's go ahead and get right into it. Alright, we have about 2 dozen taquitos, I think. We have 30 ounces of enchilada sauce. We're only going to use 20 probably. 2 cloves of garlic, 2 tablespoons of white chopped onion, a couple stalks, or a couple partial stalks of green onion, about 10 or so ounces of queso fresco, shredded up, about 5 or 6 green onion stems, and a couple pinches of cilantro. And 2 cups of cheese. Can't forget about the cheese. Alright, let's get into it. First thing you want to do is get your baking pan of choice out and go ahead and rub it down with oil or spray it. I went ahead and added olive oil off camera and rubbed it in already. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add some enchilada sauce to it. We're going to add enough to coat the bottom, but not much more than that. Alright, go ahead and shake it around. Next, we're going to go ahead and add some of our queso fresco. We're not going to add all of it. We're just going to add a little bit over here and there, because we're going to need a lot of this on the top. Alright, after you add your queso fresco, add a couple pinches of shredded cheese. Once again, don't add all of it, just add a couple pinches. You want to save it for the top and middle layers if you have any. Alright, next we're going to start laying out our taquitos. Now, I'm using a toaster oven, so unfortunately I don't have access to a full-scale oven. So I'm limited to using these smaller ones, so I'm going to have to stack these. Normally you would not want to stack them, but I'll show you what to do when you do that. Alright, we have our first layer laid out. Go ahead and pour some enchilada sauce on top. And then come back with the queso fresco. Put a little bit in between these layers here. Not too much, because once again, you're still going to need some for the top. And add some shredded cheese. Okay, now after you add your cheese, let's get into the first optional ingredients. White onion. You do not need white onion. And also, if you do use it, you don't have to add it here. You can add it completely on top. But I'm going to mix it in with the layers. And same thing with the green onion stalks. I'm also going to, or green onion stems. I'm not exactly sure what to call these. We're going to add these on with the layer as well. We're not going to use all of them. We're going to leave some for the surface. And have garlic. Garlic here is also optional. I'm going to try and sprinkle some in. Not a whole lot, because I really don't want this to be too garlicky. And now we can get on to our next layer. And just like before, just add your taquitos. I'm going to have some left over. Wait, actually, yeah, I'm going to have some left over that won't fit in here, and I'll show you what to do with those in a second. I had some that didn't fit, so I came over here onto the side, and I'm going to pour a little bit of enchilada sauce on top of those. And just go over that with the mixture, the layer mixture as well. Not too heavily though. And just add it in. And then we're going to add the rest of our enchilada sauce. Or not the rest, but we are going to add more. Let's go ahead and add some cheese. This is where most of your cheese is going to come into. But I'm going to hold some in reserve. And you'll see why here in a second. Now, also add the rest of your queso fresco. But I'm also going to keep some in reserve as well. Because I'm going to put some more sauce on top of all of this. Now, you can stop here and it'll be kind of like enchilada-y, or you can add more Old El Paso or whatever enchilada sauce you want and make it a thicker casserole. Now, if you want to stop here and make straightforward enchiladas, go ahead and set your oven to 375 Fahrenheit and put it in for 25 minutes or until the cheese is melted. Now, if you want to make a deeper dish, let's go ahead and do that. Alright, so to make a deeper dish, simply just add more enchilada sauce. And then go back over it again with all your layers of choice. Once again, I have 2 different types of onions here. And I have the rest of my shredded cheese. We're going to go ahead and add that now. And we're also going to go ahead and add the rest of the queso fresco. And we're going to add the rest of our green onions as well. then we're going to add a little bit more garlic, not too terribly much. As I mentioned, I don't want this to be too garlicky. Even though I really love garlic, I'm not necessarily sure if it belongs in enchiladas or not. Someone else will have to answer that question. And then add more sauce. And I still have cheese here I gotta use, so I'm gonna go ahead and add more cheese. Alright. And then just put it in the oven, as I mentioned earlier, at 375 Fahrenheit and bake it for 25 minutes or until the cheese is melted. So let's go ahead and get to baking. Okay, so there's two things I'm sure you noticed that did not get added. It'd be the green onion stalks, if that's what these are called, and the cilantro. This is for garnish. Yes, you can cook this into it if you want, but I'm the only one in the house that will actually eat this stuff. So I'm going to add it as a garnish to my own bowl, and just letting you know. Alright, so nothing you may be wondering is, where's the seasonings? Well, to be honest, I'm not adding any to this. I'm relying on the enchilada sauce mix, specifically, because it tastes, to me, all the pasta tastes really good. And also, there's 3 different bits of onion in there that'll add some flavor. There's also garlic, and then there's 2 different cheeses which will add flavor. Well, multiple cheeses actually that will add flavor. And yeah, I'm just really relying on that. Now, if you want to add seasonings, go for it. Use your favorite ones. You really probably can't go wrong with it. Alright, here we are at 25 minutes. The cheese is mostly melted. The only cheese that didn't melt on top was the queso fresco, but I kind of expected that. 25 minutes worked, uncovered. Then keep in mind I am in a toaster oven, so your cooking time will most likely vary a bit. Now, if you want, you can add your garnishes here. I might go ahead and actually do that, considering nobody else will want this for some reason. I don't know why. Add some garnishes. And some cilantro. And there you go. It's pretty easy to make. And so yeah, there you go, the cheater enchiladas. Thank you for submitting this. It really gave me the idea for the tamale casserole pie thing as well. And this. If you have any other suggestions, anybody, by all means, throw them at us. Send us a message on our Facebook. We do check it, believe it or not. And yeah, you can catch us here Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. And you also find us over on Instagram at Living Between, and Facebook, as mentioned earlier, at Living Between Paychecks Kitchen, maybe. I'm not entirely sure about that last part. But yeah, thanks for watching, and we hope to see you next time.